Today, Carlo Fassi resigns as Red Party chairman, trouble involving Sigma Chi, and what a stolen wallet has to do with online dating. That's all coming up right here on Spinnaker News. Hello Ospreys, I'm Patrick Lloyd. You're watching Spinnaker News on Spinnaker Television. In a Senate meeting on January 27th, Carlo Fassi announced his resignation as Red Party chairman. This is Fassi's last term as student government president, and his term ends on April 10th. Fassi seems to be very focused on the future of the Red Party, which lies in the hands of the newly appointed Red Party presidential candidate, Joseph Turner. He said that it doesn't feel like he's resigning, rather he's handing it over. Regarding his resignation, Fassi said, quote, "It was a tough decision, but one I don't regret. There are some students that agree and disagree with what I've done. I'm more focused on what Joe Turner is going to do," end quote. Fassi says that his main focuses right now are the jobs that he has to finish before his term ends. Now moving on to Greek life at UNF, the Kappa Beta chapter of Sigma Chi was under investigation for an alleged instance of hazing back in December. A member of Sigma Chi used a coat hanger and a blowtorch to brand a pledge on the buttocks. The case was brought to UPD on December 9th, but was cleared on December 20th with no charges filed due to the fact that the pledge who was allegedly hazed was a willing participant. The pledge wrote a report for UPD which said, quote, "I was at someone's apartment when soon after we walked in with the suspect and I saw a small blowtorch. A joke was made about branding someone and I eagerly volunteered. The suspect at first wasn't really going to do it, but I talked him into doing it. The incident itself did not hurt, and there is barely any mark or scarring left," end quote. According to a UPD report, the suspect who branded the pledge was very cooperative with UPD when he came in for an interview, and his story matched that of the pledge. UPD cleared the case because the pledge was a willing participant. All right, Ospreys, now it's time to get you caught up with weather. Let's toss it over to Vanessa Pearson. There you go.
Hey Ospreys, I'm Vanessa Pearson with your Spinnaker weather report. It's still feeling pretty warm outside today. However, there is a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after noon. The clouds will be sticking around today, but it will still be warm with a high of 77 degrees. We will also have a nice breeze with us today, with the south wind reaching 7 to 16 miles per hour. The clouds will still be seen throughout the evening tonight, with the low reaching around 52 degrees. That breeze will continue on after midnight, but the chance of thunderstorms will decrease. In case of showers today, for those of you who get cold during the rainy weather, try using these raincoats that go higher than regular coats. They can cover your face up to your mouth and a little bit around your nose, allowing your face to stay just as warm and dry as the rest of your body. Well, that's all I have for you, Ospreys, but before we get back to the desk, let's take a look at our 3-day forecast.
Thanks, Vanessa. A student recently suspected his friend's roommate of stealing his wallet and using his credit card for an online dating site. However, the suspected student denied the allegation, saying that he doesn't need online dating sites because he, quote, "gets laid," end quote, 2 to 3 times a week. The suspected student's mother eventually got involved. She said that her son was very manipulative and had been in and out of trouble. She also said that she had to close her son's credit card account several weeks prior because several unapproved online dating service charges had appeared on it. The officer did not file criminal charges against the roommate, citing insufficient evidence. The case was suspended and forwarded to student conduct. All right, now it's time for sports. Let's toss it over to Sam Hauser.
What's up, Ospreys? I'm Sam Hauser with your Spinnaker Sports Report, and before we get things started today, I just need to make a quick correction. On Monday's show, we reported the name of the new women's soccer head coach as Robin Kaufner, Her name is actually Robin Confer, so I'd like to apologize on behalf of the Spinnaker for that error. But with that being said, let's get right to sports. Despite holding an 11-point lead in the first half and a 4-point halftime lead, the women's basketball team could not hold on in their 72-57 home loss to East Tennessee State on Saturday. The Ospreys never got into rhythm in the second half. They shot 20% from the floor in the half, and they also failed to score a basket until the 13:37 mark of the second half. After that, they went scoreless in the final 4 minutes of the first half, before that as well, so it was a rough stretch there for the Ospreys. Their next game is another installment of the River City Rumble Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. at the UNF Arena against JU. After the women's team's loss on Saturday, the floor was handed to the men's team as part of a doubleheader on Saturday afternoon. The Ospreys fell half a game out of third place after another close game that resulted in a 60-58 loss to Lipscomb. The loss snapped the Ospreys' 3-game home winning streak. 17 turnovers and 10 missed free throws hurt the Ospreys in another home game that came down to the final seconds. Their last 2 home games have been decided by 3 points. Head coach Matthew Driscoll said, quote, "When you go 12 of 22 from the free throw line and start both halves with 4 turnovers in a couple of series, that stuff comes back to haunt you," end quote. The Ospreys return to action on February 6th when they head to DeLand to take on the Stetson Hatters. Several men's and women's track performers set personal records at the Hilton Garden Invitational in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. On day number 1, Alexandra Valdez set a personal record in the 800-meter run, and 2 other runners finished 4th and 5th in that race. Lauren Gonzalez set her own record in the 5,000-meter run, and on the men's side, Chris Haynes and Michael D'Amato also set personal best times in day number 1. Over to day 2, where 4 of UNF's female runners earned top 10 finishes in the women's 1 mile. The top performer on the men's side took 15th place in the 1 mile run. Head coach Jeff Pigg called the event a great way to prepare his team for the upcoming ASUN Indoor Championships, which begin on Friday, February 21st.
That sports report, Sam. Well, that's all we have for you today here on Spinnaker News. But remember, you can keep yourself updated and informed with all of the latest UNF news stories at unfspinnaker.com. Also, be sure to like the Spinnaker on Facebook at facebook.com/UNFSpinnaker, and you can follow us on Twitter as well. That's at UNFSpinnaker. For Vanessa Pearson and Sam Hauser, I'm Patrick Lloyd. Have a swoop-tacular day, Ospreys.